What do you call the biggest mistake of the year? Whatever comes into your head, mind you, the one we're telling you about is probably going to be at the top of the list. In April 2025, the Red Sea turned into a war zone again. But this time, the Houthis made a mistake they'll never forget. Believing they were about to strike a defenseless cargo ship, they launched a full-scale drone and missile assault. But instead of a helpless freighter, they ran straight into the jaws of one of the world's most advanced warships. This is the story of how the Houthi rebels picked the wrong target and paid the price. Welcome to the breakdown of one of the boldest and most disastrous moves the Houthis have made in recent memory. In this video, we'll unpack what really happened during that high-stakes clash in the Red Sea and show you how the US Navy flipped the switch from defense to dominance in seconds. Featuring real-world military hardware like the USS Carney, Arleigh Burke-class destroyers, and the thunderous FA-18 Super Hornets, this isn't just a story of retaliation, it's a masterclass in rapid response warfare. Let's set the stage. The Red Sea has long been a strategic hotspot, connecting the Mediterranean to the Indian Ocean through the Suez Canal. For global shipping, it's a lifeline. Every year, billions of dollars in goods flow through this narrow but critical corridor. But in recent years, it's become a battleground. Yemen's Houthi rebels, backed by Iran, have used the chaos of civil war to launch attacks on international vessels, aiming to disrupt commerce, apply political pressure, and project their growing regional influence. In early April 2025, Houthi forces detected what they believed to be a large, undefended commercial vessel traversing the Bab el-Mandeb Strait. They launched a coordinated strike using multiple loitering munitions, essentially kamikaze drones, and a barrage of anti-ship missiles. Their plan? Hit hard, hit fast, and vanish before any real response could materialize. It was a tactic that had worked in the past, striking fear into civilian shipping and drawing global attention to their cause. But they didn't know what was waiting for them. The ship they targeted was the USS Carney, an Arleigh Burke-class guided missile destroyer. Sleek, deadly, and bristling with technology, the Carney is no sitting duck. Built for exactly this type of threat environment, the ship is a floating fortress equipped with the Aegis combat system, SM-2 and SM-6 surface-to-air missiles, and rapid-fire phalanx CIWS cannons that can tear through incoming threats like paper. This isn't just a ship, it's a mobile missile defense system designed to shield fleets and strategic choke points. As soon as radar detected the inbound drones and missiles, the Carney's systems kicked into gear. Within moments, the Aegis system tracked and prioritized the incoming threats. Missile tubes opened, deck-mounted guns swiveled. The crew, trained for precisely this scenario, sprang into action, and the Red Sea lit up. One by one, the threats were neutralized. SM-2s and SM-6s streaked into the sky, smashing drones mid-air in fiery explosions. The phalanx CIWS spat out a storm of 20mm rounds, shredding anything that slipped past the initial missile shield. In less than 2 minutes, the USS Carney had obliterated the entire attack wave. No damage, no casualties, just a clean, clinical demonstration of overwhelming defensive firepower. But the Navy wasn't finished. From a nearby carrier strike group, FA-18, Super Hornets roared into the air. These multi-role fighters, armed with precision-guided munitions, electronic warfare pods, and air-to-surface missiles, locked onto Houthi positions deep in rebel-held Yemen. Coordinating with ISR drones, P-8 Poseidon aircraft, and satellite reconnaissance, the U.S. launched a precision counterstrike designed to decapitate the rebels' offensive capabilities. Within hours, dozens of Houthi launch sites, drone assembly plants, radar installations, and command centers were reduced to rubble. Explosions rocked key strongholds as waves of Tomahawk cruise missiles slammed into their targets with pinpoint accuracy. It wasn't just retaliation, it was a calculated dismantling of the Houthis' ability to wage similar attacks again in the near future. It was a clear message: you picked the wrong ship. This wasn't the first time the USS Carney had seen action. Just months earlier, the ship had intercepted multiple threats in the same region, proving its mettle time and again. Arleigh Burke-class destroyers like the Carney are designed to operate in high-threat environments. They can simultaneously defend against ballistic missiles, enemy aircraft, submarines, and surface ships, making them a linchpin of U.S. naval strategy. At the heart of its power is the Aegis combat system, a networked battle management platform that allows the ship to detect, track, and engage multiple threats at once. Think of it as a battle-hardened brain that sees all, reacts instantly, and delivers lethal force with precision. The Aegis system processes data from a range of sensors, including radar, sonar, and satellites, giving the Carney a 360-degree battlefield view in real time. When combined with guided missiles, torpedoes, and a highly trained crew, the Carney becomes a true predator in hostile waters. The Houthis, for all their boldness, weren't prepared for that kind of retaliation. Their usual tactics, hit-and-run strikes using cheap drones and missiles, work well against merchant ships. But against a warship like the Carney, it was a suicide mission. Analysts believe this misidentification wasn't just a tactical error. It was a fatal intelligence failure. Either the Houthis lacked the reconnaissance assets to confirm their target, or they were overconfident in their ability to overwhelm it. Some speculate they may have been testing U.S. response times or probing for weaknesses. Either way, the consequences were immediate and devastating. The U.S. response wasn't just about defending one ship, it was about deterrence. The Navy wanted to make it clear that any attack on American vessels would be met with overwhelming force. And they didn't just talk the talk, they brought the firepower to back it up. It was a show of strength not only to the Houthis, but to any adversary thinking of challenging U.S. dominance at sea. In the aftermath, satellite images showed smoking craters where Houthi facilities once stood. Rebel communications went dark, and for days there was an eerie silence across the Red Sea, a rare pause in a region usually teeming with threats. International shipping resumed with heavy naval escort, and merchant captains breathed a little easier. The clash also raised larger questions. How did the Houthis get access to such advanced weaponry? How far will the U.S. go to protect international waters? And what role do allies play in this high-stakes chessboard? Let's not forget, the Red Sea is vital to global trade. Roughly 12% of all global shipping passes through it, including oil, gas, and commercial goods. Disruptions here ripple across the world economy. That's why the U.S. Navy, along with allies like the UK, France, and even regional partners like Saudi Arabia and Egypt, maintain a strong presence in the region. Multinational task forces now operate together more than ever, sharing intelligence, coordinating patrols, and executing joint training exercises to deter aggression. But this latest encounter may signal a turning point. Instead of merely playing defense, Western powers might start taking more proactive measures, identifying and neutralizing threats before they launch. That could mean deeper intelligence operations, more persistent drone surveillance, cyber warfare capabilities, and faster response task forces spread across the theater. It's a new era of asymmetric warfare, and navies around the world are adapting fast. As for the USS Carney, it continues its patrol, ever ready. The crew knows what's at stake. They've seen what can happen when you let your guard down, and what happens when you strike back hard. The sailors aboard know the world is watching, and they carry the weight of that responsibility with discipline, precision, and quiet confidence. This incident wasn't just another skirmish. It was a demonstration of power, precision, and the cold reality of modern warfare. The message to adversaries is loud and clear. If you come for the U.S. Navy, you'd better be ready for the consequences. Because out here, in the contested waters of the Red Sea, there are no second chances. Thanks for watching. If you found this video insightful, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more real-world military deep dives. And remember, sometimes the sea is calm until it isn't.